Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, Virgos, let's go ahead and get into a storytelling. I did do a pre shuffle. Um, and we've got, well, we're in the library. So, we're looking for wisdom, right? Books contain knowledge and wisdom. And so, I thought it'd be a fun way to kind of like be very, we'll say studious about our storytelling for this week. So we with the Nine of Swords being the card that I pre-shuffled. Um, First off, it is about worry, okay? But it really keeps reiterating the idea that a worry of the inner mind, even a fear of punishment. And I say punishment because we have the trident of Neptune here. And in mythology, for example, Neptune punished Odysseus for blinding his son, the Cyclops. And so Odysseus had, you know, an extra 10-year journey before he could get back home. And, just there's repercussions, right? So we have the energy of fear, of repercussions, fears in general of the innermost mind that can be impacting the external world. And regardless of how scary things seem, better to deal with them head on. Because otherwise, you notice that we have like this grinning skull up above here, and we have like someone trying to like anesthetize a person on a surgical table here. It's like looking for ways to take away the worries or the fears might only push them down deeper. If there's a fear of whatever this character fears, if it's punishment or whatever it may be, they won't know how things are going to go until they just face it head on. So there's a real strong encouragement that says it can actually be very cathartic and very good for one's soul to just deal with the reality of whatever the fear is, not try to numb it, not try to run from it, not fear punishment or whatever the outcome may be, because that in and of itself is creating so much of the distress. So Nine of Swords is all up here. Now it could be Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. Doesn't have to mean that that is a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but somebody's stressing. Okay, so we have the sun. Somebody's stressing because on one hand, they want to clear this up. On the other hand, it's going to require full illumination. There will be nothing allowed to be hidden. I almost feel like this is about a confession or something that somebody's going to have to say it, and they're going to have to say every detail. Eight of Swords, Knight of Swords. It could be about the thing that has made them feel stuck for such a long time. Man, we got Leo and then we got all Libra, Gemini, Aquarius sword energy, right? Fully illuminating why they were stuck and why they aren't now, why they suddenly want to take action. So somebody who took no action now suddenly wants to take a ton of it and really rapidly. But it's going to require shedding light on everything. The thing is, the sun is a wonderful card. It's just that it's direct. It's going to have to be complete and no shadow will be left. No shadow at all. So if this person was hoping to keep anything hidden in the recesses, if they're dealing with a Virgo, the Virgo will probably, they already know this Virgo will not allow there to be any question mark anywhere. And if this is all about someone who's scared, like, oh my God, am I ready to say all this? Am I ready to explain every detail about why I was stuck and why I'm not now? I mean, that doesn't sound like it's such a bad thing, but for some reason, this seems to be stressing this person out to the max. Can we hold on? Let's go for a deck that might help us dig, because I want to say, what is their deepest fear about having everything come to light? Temperance. Because what if the Virgo finds out that I am a scattered person? What if there are pieces of me that are always going to be scattered? If they don't feel whole, you notice how we have someone putting the pieces of the puzzle together, but there's missing points, there's missing parts. It almost feels like temperance is great energy, by the way, right? It's balance. But that's the whole point. They may say, yeah, it'll reveal how much more balanced the Virgo is than me. They'll see how messy I am. They'll see what's wrong with me. They'll see all the pieces of me that aren't So it's interesting. Their big fear is that I don't know if this person has things that they're ashamed of, like, they feel inadequate, or they feel somehow like they're not good enough, or they feel somehow that there are things wrong with them. And they're like, I know everybody has a little something wrong here. They've got, they're acknowledging, yeah, but Virgo only has one puzzle piece missing. I've got tons of them. It feels like Virgo's going to realize how much more balanced they are than I am. That's the big fear, which is, I can be super compassionate and say it's totally understandable. But on the other hand, this person is so undercutting themselves and being so judgmental with themselves and assuming that somehow the Virgo is going to think certain things of them. They're like kind of putting ideas out there about how they just sense, or they just know the Virgo will see them as lacking, as wanting, as not whole. And that's a lot of projection. They're basically projecting their fears onto how they're just sure Virgo will see them this way. Let me ask, how is it that they were stuck? I mean, they're going to reveal all this anyway, or I'll say that they're scared of revealing all of it. We have Justice, we have Three of Wands. This feels like we're dealing with a complicated character. Remember, these are fictional stories about fictional characters, but we look for what's the message that might be thought-provoking, that might, conjure up new ideas, new things to contemplate. That's what I always hope my fictional storytelling is about. We have Libra energy here. This particular energy is very complicated because we have, first off, Lady Justice has 4 hands here, and she's wearing white, which is all about the logical mind, and then red, which is the heart. And we can see that they're almost like a character who is fractured. They're like split in half. Part of them is super logical, the other part of them is super heart-centered. And then we have this little dude who's running down the foot of Lady Justice, definitely on the heart-centered side. What I'm going to say, especially with the 4 hands there, I'm going to say this. They have been stuck because they are all over the place. There is what their heart wants, and then there are the things that their logical mind keeps telling them. But they almost have like a duality to their thought processes, or the way they operate, and they have not wanted Virgo to know that about them. But their future depends upon it. They've been stuck thinking, maybe I can just not have to say that. Maybe I don't have to explain that about me. But this duality to my nature also gets me stuck when what I want to do is move forward. But if I tell Virgo that this is like a problem that I have, this is the way I operate, then what? Then what happens? All of a sudden, they're ready to move forward, just like we saw the little man running down heart-centered. It's like after all this time maybe of delaying and not knowing what to do, because their logic and their heart and their logic and their heart and their logic and their heart, and they went back and forth, almost like they were 2 different people. Now suddenly their logic, or excuse me, their heart has won over their logic, and they want to come rushing in, and it feels very, sudden. The Sun in the reverse, the Devil. But even that is like, they're so worried that the Virgo is going to see them as even just more toxic. Like you make impulsive choices, and that's not going to make me happy. That's not who I want to marry, is somebody impulsive, somebody who makes like passionate action, but you just come and whisper beautiful things in my ear, but it doesn't amount to anything. I really think that this character has, with them wanting to rush forward, knowing that light will be shed on everything, they're thinking, and that's why I won't be wanted by Virgo. Virgo will only see me as somebody toxic, as the devil, and they won't want this. They won't want me if they know that this is the way I operate. Again, they keep insisting that whatever they perceive as their flaw is going to be perceived in a certain way by Virgo. Let me go back to that Temperance card for just a minute, because that's their deep fear, right? Is that Virgo's going to realize they're much more whole than I am, that there's all these missing pieces in me, maybe missing pieces of the puzzle. Like, I don't even know why I behave that way. Combination of delays and then impulsivity, logical mind, but then crazy action coming from the heart space and impulsive. We have a 10 of Wands. They wish that they didn't have to do this, but they don't know how to heal it. They wish that they could lay down this kind of stress. I think all this is stress related for this character. Huge amounts of stress. And the thing is, they have fought with themselves back and forth, back and forth. They're so scared of coming forward and telling Virgo who they are. But the other part of them says, I can't lay down the distress that I feel about all of this with Virgo unless I tell them who I am. So do I let go of some stress by just laying it out, and then Virgo can tell me that they don't want me and they'll never heal stuff with me? Or do I just, it will be better to get it off my chest and just be like, this is my problem and I don't know how to fix it? Will I lose Virgo completely? They're really fearful that they're braced for the worst case scenario, that even if it takes some of the pressure off, they still won't have anything that goes in their favor. That much, we don't see any happy outcome in their mind. We only see the idea that Virgo's just going to know that they're more balanced than I am. What is the outcome that they want? Because they keep undercutting themselves tremendously here. And let me just ask, without fear in the way, what is it that they want? We have Chariot in the reverse, but we have 8 of Wands upright, and we have the 5 of Wands. Okay, so this is really tough, because when I say what do they want, they don't know. They don't want to move forward exactly, but they do want to be able to talk to the Virgo, but they don't know what for. This is another example of them being all over the place. Let me ask this. Is the reason that they're all over the place, even in what they want with the Virgo, where is that stemming from? Their lack of ability to know what it is that they actually want. Where is that coming from? We got the Magician sideways. We got a 6 of Cups in the reverse, the King of Cups upright, and the Strength card. This is possibly the most difficult story I've ever tried to read. Deep down, they may not feel sure that they can manifest things. Deep down, they may feel like no one will ever understand them. 6 of Cups in the reverse. There's no such thing as soulmate for me. I can't manifest that either. I'm always going to be different than everybody else. Nobody is like me, so I don't bond with anybody. I'm aloof. I'm not someone who has a soulmate. I'm not somebody who can match with anyone. But then they have all this love. I think that this character has told themselves, oh, but there's something wrong with me. I can't be loved. But they actually are a very emotionally powerful person. Maybe they're like a really strong empath who has been told that they shouldn't be, but this person has a lot of strength from their warmth and their empathic nature. Like, I think they love this Virgo, and they would like to love this Virgo with like all their heart. But then the flip side of them says, but there's something so wrong with me. I can't ever expect to really bond to anybody. Where is that message coming from? Where is that coming from? I can't ever bond with anyone. Ooh, 4 of Pentacles and Emperor. They either were told you were not allowed to be an emperor. This could be a fairly intense, I was going to say toxic father figure, but the Emperor is upright. It's just that this is tyrannous, and this in this deck is associated with Jupiter, god of thunder. It's not just the classical male archetype. I always think even in the upright in this deck, it's not a great male archetype because it's completely warrior energy, and I only exist in the hard planes of life. Absolutely no emotion, pure logic. I have a role to play. It is like breadwinner, protector. That is it. And it's a very stern, maybe even a machismo kind of vibe. And if they were like steeped in this, keep in mind that's not who this character is. They're a king of cups. But if they were told, you must not bond to anyone because we're emperors. And you know how we roll? We roll as emperors. And that means, it's even kind of like, um, we always withhold and we walk away from anything that starts to make you feel. You run the opposite direction. When you think you're going to cry, you make sure you distance yourself. If you're upset about something, you don't show it at all. You press it down. If and you remember that lesson, don't you ever go near anything that makes you want it, because that's a weakness. So they're warring with themselves. No wonder it's logic and it's heart. This is a very beautiful, heart centered, emotionally fabulous person who has been somehow coerced into thinking that's any emotion at all is a weakness. You run away from it, especially if you feel like you love somebody. Run away from them. So they want Virgo in their life. And at the same time, they say, but I don't really know what for because I don't want to come towards you because I'm not supposed to want to be with you. I certainly can't feel this way about you. But God, I need you in my life, but I don't want to come close to you, but I want to love you. I want to be strong enough to love you, but I can't because that would be weak. I mean, talk about a swirling mess in their poor head. Okay, universe, let's settle this. Because this is madness. This character has been told a bunch of stuff that they got to unlearn, in my opinion. But who am I to say? What do I know? Maybe that's an awesome way to behave. Sounds like it sucks to me, but Seven of Wands upright. The universe says, all right, all right, all right. The only way this character can get past this is if they go inside themselves, not their father or whatever the teaching, the training was from this militarized vision of what masculinity is, but rather they have to get in themselves, into their own temple, and they have to ask themselves what would actually be good for them, knowing that they're bonded to this Virgo. This Virgo is their soulmate. They know that this Virgo is their soulmate. They know it deep down, but they have to accept it. They have to be the ones to accept it because they're the ones who put up the blockage. They're blocking that, and it's deep inside of them. Ten of Swords, they got to put an end to the blockage. Are they going to be able to do it, universe? Are they going to be able to do it? I already know what this card is. It's questionable because it's free will. Do they want to do it? Do they not? I said I know what the card is because my baby ate it when he was a puppy. Wheel of Fortune says divine timing. Two of Cups. It was already time for them to be able to be in this connection. This is not even just a soulmate. This is that Two of Cups. This is their person. This is the person they want, they need, they love more than anybody else. But will they ever admit it? This says, the universe goes, I don't know. It's up to them. It's up to them. They know that they're blocking. They do know that, but they have to go into the temple and they have to decide what they want to do about it. Because what's the advice to the Virgo here? Hold on. Nine of Swords. Now Virgo's sharing in all the distress. Definitely Queen of Pentacles, because the Virgo knows that they're running and they're lying and they're running from this. The advice I'll say to the Virgo is to send the best energy for, like, do what you need to do, but do the right thing for what you know is true. I send you healing. My higher self sends you energy. Virgo can't get all keyed up and worried about them. Virgo has to stay strong and grounded and say the only person who's keyed up and running is them, but I'm not chasing. I'm simply saying I'm going to love myself, and my higher self is going to send love to them. That's all I can do. I can't tell them what to do. They have to figure that out for themselves. Whew, this is a tough one to kind of step back and just let the person do what they got to do, but they're the ones in the struggle right now. All right, guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up.